we're going into mobility today. It's kind of gonna loosen us up from everything that we've been doing, all the engagement. We're gonna go through shoulders, hips, wrists, and spine. And we're gonna just make it nice and comfortable. It's gonna feel flowy and feel good. So we're gonna start off right away with our spine. We're gonna have our hands in, touching our opposite shoulder. Feet are gonna be flexed. And these are known as cars, circular motion. So we're gonna bring our left elbow to our pocket, right elbow to pocket, then opposite side. So we're going from flexion here to extension. So that's 2, 3. Actually breathe in as you come up, and then exhale down. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll just go in the opposite direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so if you've never done those before, they feel pretty good, right? Loosens you up, kind of gets your spine moving in all the directions. We're gonna add some twisting as well as some protraction and retraction now. So to do that, I'm just gonna bring my mat a little bit more towards away from the wall. We're gonna get in a tabletop position, step your left foot up first, and then your back foot is gonna be, or the toes are gonna be flat. We're gonna go overhead, reach as far back as you can, especially with the elbow. Reach far back with your hand. Come to the front and extend, and then that's 1. From here, we're gonna flex our feet. Reach far forward as much as we can. I like thinking thumbs forward. And then we're gonna bring our elbows back with a small back bend as we breathe in. That's one side. We're gonna do the opposite. So overhead, really far back, lengthening as much as we can. That's this side. We're gonna, just a different view of it, push forward. You're gonna have that hollow body shaped spine. And then exhale, back bend. Then we're gonna go for round 2. So left foot up, overhead, reach as far as you can. We're doing 2 of these. And to reach. Awesome, opposite side. Big, big circles, big reach back, big reach forward, big, big circle, big reach back, big reach forward. We're just gonna reach forward, breathe in, back bend, reach forward. Awesome. For our last round, we're doing this as a ladder of 3 rounds. So overhead, reach back, reach forward, overhead, reach back, reach forward, and last one. Really be intentional, really try to get as much range in the entire rotation. Big breath in. Exhale here, sorry. Engage that core. Breathe in as you come back. Elbows really high. Breathe in. Elbows high, arms back. The rotation back is very important. You're actually kind of getting a other angle of, or plane of motion of your shoulders while doing that. And then exhale, breathe in, sorry. And then last round. Above your head, nice and far as you can reach over here. And as far as you can reach forward. 1, 2, 3. Last round of the reaches. Exhale. Awesome. We're gonna do one little round of just rotation back and forth with our shoulders. So if you've never done any type of these movements, they all feel very new, so that you might be very tight, especially if you lift a lot, do a lot of chin-ups or anything of that sort. So try to keep your elbows about even with your shoulders. And then you may have felt this earlier. We're just gonna go for one more round of it. So elbows up, you're trying to bring your thumbs back, and then we're gonna go down and see how far down we can bring our knuckles. So where I'm at shows me I need more work at this. I should be able to go here while keeping my elbows up. So if this is easy for you, enjoy that range of motion. And if you're like me, breathe through it, because this is work. That's 1, 2. We're just going for 5, 3, 4, and that's 5. Awesome. So we're gonna do the wrist circles now, and then we're gonna add some hips, and we're gonna go to our holds for the day. We're gonna do 2 headstand holds and then 2 with the wall handstand holds. So let's get to our wrist circles. Since we've been doing this for some time now, these should be feeling quite a bit more familiar. You're kind of just enjoying the movement through them. And if you want to see if you can add a bit more weight as we keep going, go for that. So bring your shoulders a bit farther above your wrists or a little bit past. See if there's more range of motion that's available since we've been doing this for more time. 2 more. Last one, go in the opposite direction. Another 3, 2, 1. Fingers forward. We're going to do what we've been doing for a while as well. So we're going to enjoy opening our spine a bit more by going stomach down, stomach up in cat-cow. But at the same time, we're going to go far forward when we're in that cat shape. So big breath in. And then exhale. Really high mid-spine. Move forward. Come back, stomach down. We're doing 5 like this. 1 more. Now we're going to lift our knees. If it feels more instinctive, even come all the way back for your breath in. Just 2 more. Last one. Awesome. And then we're gonna add one last little spine piece before we get to our hips. So we're gonna have our right hand down, tabletop. We're gonna bring our left hand to our ear. And then from here, you're essentially trying to bring your left elbow as high up as possible. And then trying to bring that elbow to your arm. And back and forth. We're going for 8 on each side, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll do the opposite side. Same exact motion. So So feel nice and strong in that tabletop. Hands, I just like fingertips around my ear. We're going all the way down and all the way up. That's 1. Breath in as you go up. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. Awesome. We're going to come into a seated position. My little spoofy thing came off my mic. So I'm just going to actually check my mic real quick as well. Sorry about the noise, guys. So from here, we're going to get into bear pose. So we're going to sit down. Our heels are going to go about the width of our hips and a little bit more so. So we're sitting nice and tall. If you can have your hands behind your back, that's essentially what you're aiming for. So almost on a 45 with your legs. Hands to just keep your spine from allowing you to cheat kind of thing. You're just kind of keeping your spine neutral. All this motion should come from our hip. So right hip will start first. We'll go for 5 of these. Go as far as you can in both directions. So that's 3, 4, and this should be done with a lot of intention. You're really trying to keep everything stable except for the hip articulation. 4 and 5. And on this side, I am quite a bit tighter. I don't know if it's from past injuries or things of that sort. Regardless, we kind of work a bit more on the sides that we need it. So if I wasn't doing this class and trying to keep everything even, if I was you and you had to work a side that needs more work, maybe pause it. But I'm going to go for 5 this time. I would normally go for about 8 until it kind of catches up. So let's just go forward. So that's 1. So you could see the opposite side. The first side, my knee was able to touch. And then from here, I'm very much feeling this. I'm being intentional. But where I'm feeling that almost, if I keep going, I know I'll have discomfort, I stop there. And I'm just going to keep doing this until it becomes easier and I have more range. So 3, 4, 5. Okay, so from here, the reason we only did 5 is this is going to be a 10 rep thing. We're just adding into it. We're going to add 3 different variations. And then the last 2, you can choose what you want to do. We're doing a shin box. So we're going to turn and do a 90 on each leg. And then for the first one, we're just going to reach down and grab our weight, come back up and go to the opposite side. So join me for that. So you are in your bear pose, turn over, come down for it. Really lengthen through that spine. Try to bring your chest forward. We're coming back up, hands back behind our back so we don't dump into our lower back. Rotate to the opposite side, same thing here. So over that 90 leg, just aiming for length. We're gonna go back. We're gonna go for option 2, which this time we're gonna have our right hand on the ground since we turned to the right, even fingertips if you want, and we're just trying to bring a 90 elbow towards the ground. So it's gonna give you a little bit more length. And push through this shin that's on the ground. The heel should be thinking of pushing and helping you lift back up. We're gonna go to the opposite side. Do the same thing. So left hand down, right arm is in that 90 and it's coming towards the ground as I'm pushing this entire leg through to lift me back up. And back. We're gonna do the last version. So here we're actually just gonna keep both of our arms in cactus. See where we can go to, and then come back up. Do the opposite side. So for these 2 last versions were way too hard and you're just kind of at a touch comeback pose, or even if you're just here, play with that. We're gonna keep moving through these type of motions. So this is the 3rd one on the left side. Back up. We're gonna do 2 more each side, a little bit quicker. choose the variation you enjoyed the most. Hands behind you, go to the left. Nice and tall, coming down. Back up. Last one, both sides. Coming down. Back up. The last round over here. Back up. So that was it for that drill. We have one last engaging type of range of motion exercise. So we're gonna do butterfly, bakasana. Not bakasana, that's crow pose, but we're doing butterfly pose. We're gonna bring our knees towards our shoulders, and as we have our hands here, so we're trying to really push our hands away, or we're just trying to keep our knees down as they're trying to come up, whichever way you want to think of that. We're just rather trying to give it as much intention or push as we can. We're gonna do that for 8 seconds, and then we're gonna have a reach for 5. So just go for 8 seconds coming up. So 8, 9, coming up as much as you can, really pushing here. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're gonna release that. Think of your heels pushing together a little bit. So it'll make it so that your knees spread out with a bit more ease. And then now we're gonna come forward, so we're hinging into the butterfly, adding as much length as we can, and then seeing how much depth we can get. So for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're doing 3 rounds of that, so hands on your knees, trying to bring them up for 8, 7. You're giving like 70% of your strength here, really using those adductors. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release that. Every time it should feel like it's getting deeper. Going to reach as far as you can. Coming forward. All of these can be done with a block underneath your sit bones. If you already have one, don't feel bad about that. And if this feels all too tight to do, go ahead and add that. For another 4, 3, 2, 1. Last round. Hands on your knees. Come on up for another 8, 7, 6, push, 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 push. 5, 4, I should say squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. 3, 2, 1. Nice big depth there. That just made such a big difference for me. Now we're gonna come forward, reaching as far as we can for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome, guys. So if you feel like you need to kind of let your hips loosen out here, it's completely understandable, especially if you don't do these often. But we're gonna get into headstand. We're gonna do both versions we've learned so far, with each time having the opposite leg up. So we're gonna start off always having the block in though. I'm gonna start by holding this on the right side. I'm gonna have my left leg come up the wall. I'm gonna start with traditional. Don't mind the messy hair. So same cues as before. We're gonna squeeze this to keep our hollow body shape. We're gonna go elbows. The closer you can get to the wall now, if you're comfortable falling out, the better it is, because you're gonna stack better. So holding your opposite elbow, hands together, interlace the fingers, pinky in. We're gonna bring your left leg up. So a big breath in. I always like 2 breaths whenever I'm entering a pose. So big breath in. Exhale. Now the next one, we're gonna be stepping the left leg up. I'm still way too far. I started protracting. So the amount of push I gave here is almost as good as you want to give. There's no weight on my head almost. Once it's down, it's just another anchor. Another place to help me with balance. But we're going for 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I always recommend giving a nice big breath whenever you come back, just to find your orientation. And if you watched that first, pause it and did it, or so on and so forth. I hope that you noticed that I actually floated my leg away. We are getting a day 6. Anything past this point, if you feel comfortable by protracting enough and you're able to even float just a little bit off or completely float off, I want it to be a motion that's done with ease. Don't pull anything quick. Don't jerk anything. Don't try to jump yet. There's never jumping headstand though. That's not the way I'd ever teach it. But knowing this, if it feels like it wants to float away, let it go. And then we're gonna do the tripod variation. So I had my left leg up. This time we're gonna go right. The nice thing about headstanding is you're learning how to press right away, which is kind of fun. It kind of is one of those things that we seek to do with lots of time put in handstand. It's really advanced, but when it comes to headstand, it's the way you should technically enter, in my opinion. But yeah, so let's get doing that. We're gonna have one block here, maybe 2 if you need it, the other one in our hip. We're doing tripod, so it's still the same concept. You're gonna make a triangle, head is gonna go here, top of your head is where your crease of your palm goes into your nose, and then top of your head goes there. Make that triangle, feel comfortable with it. So big breath in, head down. Now the second breath is to go. So keep bringing your hips up until that float is easy. If you want a certain tuck, go for tuck. If you want to bring that leg up, go for it. Now we're staying here for 15, 14, 13, 12. Push through those hands, feel nice and easy. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. With ease, don't fall out. Nice and comfortable. Big breath in. Awesome. So that was the second round of headstands. Let's get into our hands. So now that we used our head, let's get back to gripping the ground. So the cue with this that I feel like sometimes I forget to kind of throw is that we want to grip the ground as if we're trying to make a fist. Our fingers are our last resort break. We're pushing through our knuckles and our palm. Extending through, protracting. And then the more you're able to stack, so the closer you get to the wall, the easier it'll feel. I'm actually gonna start, you're gonna see me sneaking closer and closer. If you can join me with that, go for it. If you're still scared and you want that distance and you're gonna be leaning, just know that you're using more strength, which isn't a bad thing. But if it's hard to hold and you're able to practice falling out, do come closer with time. So we're gonna go with our left side first. Or yeah, left side on the wall first. And then our right is gonna be floating, and if we can catch any float at all here, I'm not saying that we should already be there at all, that's not where we are. Maybe try not to actually at first. We're looking to just kind of build stamina, feel comfortable. The float comes when it comes. We're just learning the basics and building that base essentially. So big breath in. Big breath in. So we're going for 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Once again, big breath. Reset. Big breath. So every time we kind of go up and back down, it should be easier and feel more comfortable finding yourself after you get out of it. It's completely normal to feel a little kind of floaty after you were inversion, especially if we don't focus on our breath, because when we do new things, if you ever practice a new sport, you may actually forget to breathe while you do it, and your heart rate starts going up, you feel a little dizzy. A lot of it is just kind of being anxious and trying to think of too many things. Try to just get back to our breath here. We know the foundations, we're gonna practice them until they become rooted in us, especially with the little play things that we do. So for now, just try to enjoy being upside down, focus on that breath. We're gonna do one more round. This time it'll be our right leg on the wall. I'm gonna do it facing this way. Once again, I'm still getting closer though. It just feels lighter for me. I feel like I'm getting more time with more ease, which is nice. So big breath. Biceps forward, fingers pointing towards the index. Slight turn out kind of thing. Hands underneath your shoulders. Big breath in. Exhale. Let's go. Okay, so 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So that's like practicing a fall. Once you get closer, you can even do the steps. I didn't really turn my hand there, which I should have. But as you come closer, enjoy practicing falling out. Turn your hand, handstand, cartwheel out. That's the variation we learned, and we should practice it as much as we can. So that's it. That's nice and easy. I'll give us a last little shoulder opener, because every time we handstand, we are protracting. We're using our chest muscles. We're using our lats. We're using our scapulas and all the muscles that surround it to push upwards. So let's stretch those out, and then we're gonna be done. So if you have 2 blocks, place them on a 90 from each other. We're gonna go one elbow on them at a time. Big breath in as you bring your head through. And if you can point your fingers back, just take a few breaths here. One more breath. Awesome. So once again, we're getting where it's getting a bit tougher. Things are starting to catch. We're at day 6, so we moved up to 15 seconds for our holds. We're just doing 2 handstands and 2 headstands. With time, we're gonna progress. Every 5 days, we're going up by 5 seconds for each hold. Eventually, it'll feel very easy to do all of these, especially if you go back to doing your 10-second. Because if you're at 20 times 3, you're hitting a minute. Doing a 1 10-second hold will feel easy and achievable. And at that point, when you're doing 10 seconds, your body will feel weightless. So we're just progressively adding weight and time on our hands while we're adding strength in different areas. That being said, without the mobility to actually be able to bring your arms up comfortably, your body is fighting the position. So we need to practice opening up, doing maybe cars with your shoulders, which we'll do in a different day, or just other chest openers and kind of overhead muscle. So it's good to assess yourself. If you do get massage, I do recommend that. Either way, if you have questions for me, do reach out. Either way, I'm here for you. Cheers. Namaste. If you like this, subscribe and keep coming along. Cheers. Take care.